So I think I said it in Spanish. I don't think I said it in English. And it was regarding programming arrays of the velocity in a medium of energy, in this case, photonics. So we'll use the speed of light. And it'll be bound to a frequency or at least a flow of energy going through a media with an interference pattern for which is described inside of a space, and it points out kind of subsequent set all the way down to the remainder, its distinct location. And so that's a multi-dimensional array stack where the location describes the system and then you move it in reference anchor to where it aligns with enough of the rest of the field around it to where you have that confidence value, and that's when stacks are adjusted, like a first in first out or first in last out, for when there's these overlaps and you're in effect using volumetric computation to predict when something should arrive with a given amount of energy in the system. So the velocity of the system and the energy within it will say how quickly that message could be fielded to the other end, or what kind of clusters could end up, significantly enhancing that. And so it's the mentality of reference perspective of data flowing through volumes of matrix where you have these pickup sensors in a matrix array, and you have a volume of space to which the signal um, goes through in a wave format, and that could be a changing signal, and so it could be describing a constant change state. And so wherever possible, that voxel resolution of interconnect on channel logic ends up being a kind of like a holographic depth of data. And so it seems like you end up with these linked lists of what overlaps similarly enough, what makes logical sense to cluster together into word groups using the internet for perspective. And so that helps define the language and quantify the perspective of social and age and history throughout the social experience, to get an idea for what that really meant to that person at that time. And so that's why the internet itself is the hash table of logical intercepts of the description of what's around. Because if this is a camera sensor with depth applications, then what fits are CAD matches in the space, in the relative atmosphere, then it kind of auto describes that component. And so then, with Google Maps and property type spacing, then the boundaries get very well set to a landscape where you can update a registry to, transfer if you want, where it's not charging anybody because everybody's distributing an energy tick to read and to distribute the system. It's a part of the shared internet, and there's the associated energy cost of focusing in on the data itself, but that's inherent in the system capability. I think that's for the most part all I really needed to say.
Now you can get
After this, I guess there's gonna be a commercial, so we're gonna try to. Oh, wait. And another commercial. How dare they? Okay, skip. The trees, of course, are the arrays themselves, right? What ends up seeming to happen is you can use graphs and other geometric shapes to simplify and merge the a computation. So then you can use the geometries to help compute with light guided, you know, modifications. And so that's why we consider it also a slide rule, where, you know, within the given percentage or within the given accuracy provided for the calculus, it's a ratio. And so that ends up being a format of auto aligning to a correctional, you know, truing the amount of data that, you know, is distributed into the field for the analysis of that. So computation ends up getting that quantized, you know, potential.